Okay, here we go. First of all, let me talk about red colors. First of all, there's only three versions of red color, and I'm talking about true reds: red orange, red violet, and red. Everything else is a combination with either adding gold or neutral to them, depending upon and the depth that you want. But those are the only three colors. And let me show you examples of them. What is going on here? Here. Okay. I am having a lot of trouble here trying to figure out here. Okay. There we go. Now, red concentrate, well, red, pure red, then red orange, and then red violet. Okay. Now, red shades are extremely sensitive to copper. So any copper residue that's in the hair does a couple of things. First of all, it prevents complete dye formation, and in consequently causes more rapid fading of the color. Copper also slows down the penetration of dye into the hair, so you don't get a complete dye into the hair. And if you don't pre-treat the hair before the red color is applied, it once again fades faster, breaks up faster, and becomes more gold appearing, all sorts of different things. And that, first of all, when you use a clarifying shampoo on the hair before, in other words, to remove any metallic ions, which copper is one of, you have to have a shampoo. It should be with between the range of 5 to 6, which is where the acid mantle surrounding the hair is. Next, it must contain tetrasodium EDTA, and then I prefer ammonium lauryl sulfate, because even though we've been taught that ammonium lauryl sulfate was bad for your hair, that was just a marketing gimmick in order to get us a substitute for it, which was non-sulfate shampoo, except it's just as aggressive. There's no difference between them, not really. It's just, it was a marketing gimmick is what it was. Now, when you shampoo the hair, the easiest way to do it is to leave it on the hair for a couple of minutes. This allows it to seep into the hair, and then the molecular structure of the EDTA causes one end to grab on to the metallic ion, and the other end grabs onto water, and it just washes from the hair. That's how they work. But it's also important that you do not have shampoo in your conditioners. They have to be plain shampoo, particularly clarifying shampoo with EDTA in them. And then do not use any sort of intense conditioning after the shampoo. Just simply use a spray-in if you have a spray-in, because that'll make it easier to comb through, and it'll make it easier for the uptake of color. Remember that conditioners, particularly heavy conditioners, intense conditioners, block color from getting into the hair. A lot of people haven't told you this over the years, but that's my job. All right, now next. Timing for red colors changes. First of all, for the first application, you have to use full time. Now, that means 35 minutes for medium or fine textured hair, but then 45 minutes for coarse textured hair. If you're using a steamer, then 17 minutes with steam, up to, I think it's halftime. So about 20 minutes, or 22 minutes, something like that, if it's coarse textured hair. Remember that timing does not apply when you're refreshing hair color or toning hair color after a bleaching product. And also remember, never, ever, ever use a hood dryer on with heat. If you're going to use any heat, make it steam heat. It's so much better for the hair. Also, when working with red colors, remember that when you're working on a natural blonde, you don't need a lot of lightning action. You only need development of the dye, particularly minimal lightning action. And so therefore, you generally don't need higher than 10 volume developer. Possibly if it's very coarse hair, you would jump up to 20 volume. When working on light brown hair, you use either 10 or 20 volume developer, depending upon the texture. Finer or medium texture, you use 10 volume, 20 volume if you're working on coarser textured hair. Then when you're working on medium to dark brown hair, then you use 20 or 30 volume developer. Notice that I didn't say 40, although you can use 40. I personally don't use very much 40, except in high lift formulas, because I know that with a high lift formula, it's necessary to get the maximum lightening out of a product. So let me go down here. Let me see. I have no more questions. Okay. So finally, the deeper the natural hair color, the less vibrant the red color will appear. Now, this is also true when you're adding darker colors to red. So in other words, the difference between adding a blonde or a light brown to a color as opposed to a dark brown, the color will appear much less vibrant the darker the neutral or gold color is that you add to it. Generally, the brightest red shades are around a level 6, which is dark blonde level in almost all everybody's hair color line. Generally, that's where you find the most brilliant red shades. And in order to be the brightest shade, you cannot have either gold or added to them. When you add gold or neutral, it makes the color less vibrant. Got it? Okay, now let me see. Here's an example. Now, what I did here was I took 45 grams of 4RO, red orange, and then I added 15 grams of either 8N, 6N, 4N, or 3N. And you can look and see what happens. Even though the red color, there's the same amount of red in all four of these, you notice two things. First of all, the color becomes much less vibrant because you've added neutral to it. And there's a slight color shift. When you add neutral to red-orange shades, they actually appear, particularly at deeper levels, a little bit more violet-y in appearance than orange. That's when you add neutral to red-orange. It doesn't happen when you add gold. I think I have a slide for that one also. Before I show you some more slides, shine and brilliance. Remember, shine, we call it luster in the lab, is dependent upon the reflection of light. Brilliance is determined. Remember, shine and brilliance are different. Brilliance is determined by the depth and purity of the tone. Now, remember, the most brilliant colors, I said, generally appear at a dark brown level, which means a 6 red orange would be, or 6 red or 6 red violet would be the most brilliant forms of that color. Whenever you add gold or neutral, it decreases the brilliance, but not the shine. Okay? Now, oh, here. First of all, here's for red orange, plain old red orange. But notice what I do here. Whoops. Let me go back. How do I go back here? Okay. Now notice something that here, what I've done is I've added red orange, and the first swatch that you see here, I don't know why I can't see this little guy here. Let me try this. Nope, I don't want that. I screwed that up. I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, good Lord. Let me try getting rid of this again. Oh, anyway, I'm just going to have to leave that because I have no idea how to get rid of it. First of all, red orange, if you put gold with red orange, it softens the red orange. But when you put neutral with the red orange, it adds a little bit of violet appearance to the red orange. So that's why you use gold to dilute orange colors, not red orange colors, not neutral. Let me see if I can figure out how to get rid of all of this. I just simply don't know. Oh well, whatever. What can I say? Here, let me go back. There, I got rid of it. Now, let me come back down here. Now, this is when I add red and blue concentrate together, full strength, and then I've diluted them. So I've made a purple, red violet, by mixing red and blue together. And then I diluted it. And you can see from what I have up top there, I have equal parts. The first swatch on the left is equal parts of red and blue. It's in a 1-to-1 ratio. It's a very dark purple. Then next to it, I added 1 part red, 1 part blue, and 2 parts of clear. And I diluted it, and there you see what it has. The third swatch in is 1 part red, 1 part blue, and 6 parts clear. The next one, which is 2 from the right, is 20 parts of clear added. And then the far right one is 40 parts of clear added. And you can see what happens. It just keeps getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And the far right one doesn't even look like a red violet color. Why? Because when you dilute red violet all the way down, it has a very beigey blonde appearance. That's what you're seeing. Now, in this case, what I've done is on the left, I mixed 20 parts of red concentrate, 20 parts of gold concentrate, and 20 parts of clear. That's how I created that red swatch. Now, if you wanted to make that red swatch on brown hair, then of course the brown hair would take over, would become part of the formula, and it would. When I say clear, if you used XL cream, XL super, and there was only 20 grams of it, this would lighten up pretty close to 1 level. So it would become 1 level lighter, but have all that red and gold in it. So if you were to put it on medium brown hair, the brown hair would become light brown, but with a tremendous amount of red. Now, over on the right, you'll look and you see what I did was I put 20 grams of red violet plus 20 grams of gold, plus 20 grams of clear. Now, once again, if the clear was XL Super, you would end up with 1 level of lightening, possibly 2, depending upon the texture of the hair, of whatever hair you put it on. Sharon says, let me see what Sharon says here. Sharon says, how do you feel? You know, once again, I have to figure out how can I can't read it, the whole thing here, Sharon, because I have managed to put, hold on a second here. Let me see if I can move this somehow. Oh, I don't want to do that one yet. Let me go back. Let me see if I can move this slightly. Ah, okay. Sharon says, how do you feel about super glaze formulas for your salt and pepper hair, for your salt and pepper clients? Oh, once again, I've got to move this around. I can't figure this out. That want, and I can't read the rest of it yet because, oh, here it is. That want red. Okay, how do you feel about super glazed formulas for your salt and pepper clients that want red? I think they're excellent. And just to remember that a super glazed formula will lighten the hair 1 or 2 levels. So you can use pure red, you can use red orange, you can use diluted red, red concentrate, and put XL Super in it. You can do any ones of 100 different things to it. But yes, I think super glazed formulas on red hair are excellent. Let me see if I can. Oh, good Lord. I don't know why. You know, I have to apologize, guys. This is the first time I'm using my laptop, and I do not know what I'm doing. I really don't. Yeah. So, oh, hold on a second here. I keep switching screens. Let me see if I can move this. Oh, good Lord. Here, let me get rid of the Q&A if I can figure it out how. Okay, I just got rid of the Q&A. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to ask me questions on this because I have no idea what I'm doing with my laptop here. So I'm just going to have to go on with the webinar. Now what I've done is I've mixed up two more formulas. The first one on the left, I used red orange, and then the one on the right, I used red concentrate. So if you look at the one on the left, you can see that it says 23 grams of red of 2RO plus 7 grams of 2RV. So what I did was I created a redder version, but not as pure red that you see on the right side. And then I added 30 grams of clear. Well, if this was going to be a deposit only, excuse me, if this was going to be a super glaze, to Sharon's question, what you could have done is you could have substituted XL where it says clear, that could have been 30 grams of XL Super or XL, the regular XL. And then you would have had a lightning product. Now remember that level 2, 2RO and 2RV has almost no ammonia in it whatsoever. There's just a tiny bit to make them permanent colors, but there's less than 1%. So consequently, what you end up with by putting clear into it, you still end up with a super glazed product. On the one on the right, notice what I did was I mixed 20 grams of pure red concentrate plus 20 grams of gold plus 20 grams of any clear. It could have been XL Super, XL Clear, whatever you want. And consequently, what you have there is that you have a much more brilliant red color than you have on the left one, which is red-orange. In this one, what I did, you'll notice that I have A, B, and C on both of these. The first one on the left is red concentrate. The one on the right is gold concentrate. And what I've done is A, B, and C. A is pure. So A is pure red concentrate. A on the right-hand side is pure gold concentrate. On the B one, I mixed 30 grams of concentrate plus 30 grams of clear. And then in C, in both of them, I mixed 15 grams of concentrate and 45 grams of clear. So you can see how much lighter they become. Let me move here. In this particular case, what I did was I took 60 grams of 6 red-orange. And then I simply added 6 grams of concentrate. I used gold concentrate, red concentrate, green, red violet, and then on the final one on the right, I just lightened it with XL cream. And you can see what happened in each one of them. The gold softened it dramatically. The red increased the redness. The green, interestingly enough, made it a very soft, a very soft color, but it did not mute out an awful lot of the red-orange color. And then red violet added much more red to the color, a red violet, but because it was mixed with RO, and that was 2RV, by the way, and because it was mixed with RO, it just became a redder appearance of color. In this case, what I did was I mixed together 45 grams of 4 red-orange plus 15 grams of 4 gold. And then I mixed it with 20 volume developer. And once again, I'm showing them all on white hair so that you can see what the full strength of the color is. And then you just have to compensate for it when it goes on red, when it goes on either brunette or blonde hair. The second swatch is, instead of using, I used the same 45 grams of 4RO, but this time I added 15 grams of red concentrate, and you can see how much redder that appears. And then on the far right, I mixed together 45 grams of clear and 15 grams of 4 red violet, and I got that very light, almost blonde appearing of a red violet color. Here, what I did was I mixed together 30 grams of clear, 15 grams of red, and 15 grams of gold in the far left swatch. So the clear can be either XL Super, XL Cream. The red can be any red. In this case, I use the red concentrate and the gold concentrate, equal parts of both of them. And you could see that the red color is very soft in appearance. It's lighter, and I created, by mixing 15 grams and 15 grams of the two of them, and then adding 30 grams of clear, I ended up making a color that was, I'm going to guess and say it's about a level 5 or 6. It's either a lightest brown or a darkest blonde. However, there's it, it's whatever you decide it's going to be. Now, notice in the center swatch, what I did was I mixed 45 grams of 4 gold, and that's regular permanent color, with 15 grams of 4 red orange. Now, this could be done in permanent color or it could be done in deposit only, because I've got both of those shades in deposit only also, and in toners actually. So it can be any one of the three. In the third one over, notice that once again, it can be any one of them, because you've got 4 RV in permanent color and deposit only, and in toner, and you have 4G in all three of them. So all three of these swatches can be either in permanent, can be deposit only, or can be in toners. And in this one, I wanted to show you very dark color. What happens is when you have 3 grams, when you have 60 grams of 3N, and that's in both of these swatches, but in one I put red violet, in the other I put red orange. And neither one has that dramatic of an effect, because it's a level 4 red and just a small amount of it. So what I've made was very dark chocolate brown colors. Okay? And I think, okay, one last one. And in this case, what I did was I on the left, you see two level 2 red orange on both white hair and on salt and pepper hair. Now, this salt and pepper hair, the pepper part is a medium brown and the salt is white. So you can see the effect that it has. Then on the center swatch, it's 2RO plus I lightened it by adding 15 grams of the XL cream to it. So it's a little bit lighter, but then look all the way on the far right, you can see that I lightened it even more. And in all three cases, the salt and pepper gets brighter and brighter, as does the pure white swatch. And then, before I let me go back here and see if I have Q&A. Okay, now I'm back on the Q&A again. So if you ask questions now, I'll be able to respond to them as we go along. And look, all of a sudden I've got my marker back. I have no idea where it came from. I don't know one from, I don't know. Any questions? Anybody? No. Okay. So then here's what I'm gonna do. I think I've said already. Let me shrink this. Now, the book is the same price whether you order it from me directly in the USA or from outside the USA. You got to go through Amazon. Oh, okay, Lee. Lisa, type a question into the Q&A, and then I'll be able to respond to you. Oh, Kimberly Preble says, any suggestions for putting red on blondes? How, helping them last. Oh, real simple. If you want your red colors to last longer on blondes, you must clarify the hair first. And secondly, it's not necessary most of the time to use more than 10 volume developer. That's the two most important things. So cleanse the hair first with clarifying shampoo, then towel dry it and apply the color to slightly damp hair. Not natural blondes. Well, remember, Kimberly, that when you put color on top of color. It will the original color is still there in the hair, and it becomes part of the new formula. So that if it's on hair that's been bleached and lightened up and then turned blonde, then it becomes a darker version of red on whatever that blonde is you added. If you simply used blonde color on hair, and it also becomes part of that same formula. Joseph said, red and gray coverage. Can you explain more? It's real simple. You get red on gray hair. Remember, it's always salt and pepper hair, and so that depending upon how dark the pepper is in the hair, and how and white hair is white hair. So consequently, the red that you see will be brighter on lighter salt and pepper hair, and deeper appearing on deeper salt and pepper hair if the pepper is brunette. In other words, if the pepper is brown in the hair. That's the way that you see color. That's the way that everybody sees color. And then Jill asked, can you take a red permanent color and make it a neutral? I don't know what that means, Jill. How do you make a neutrals or neutrals? I don't understand how to make a red color a neutral color. I don't understand what that means. When using high doses, when using a lot of concentration to the formula, like 20 grams or higher, are you adding equal parts of developer? That's a really good question. Yes, if the concentrate is part of the formula, in other words, not added to a regular formula, then yes, you do add developer for that amount of a concentrate. That's a very good question, Lisa. I neglected to respond to that. And Luke said, metallic removal before hair color are special so-called detox sprays or treatments necessary if you have a good chelating shampoo. Well, here's my thoughts on this. A good chelating shampoo gets rid of pretty much everything from the hair. A metal detox sprays, I don't know what a detox spray is. If you leave it in the hair, then it doesn't make a lot of sense, because the metallic ions are still there. I don't know. I don't even know what detox sprays are. However, I chelate every single head that I work on before I work on it. Okay. Any more questions? If there are no other questions, I'm going to once again, let me move this. Remember that what I said, no more webinars until the next year. And it was a real quick, short one today, but y'all have an amazing, amazing oh, how weird. I wonder why this is back. Have an amazing holiday season. Say hello to everyone. One last thing, and that is everyone who uses Chromatics hair color. I've been working on a new book, and it's only color formulas, and it's a free book to everyone who uses Chromatics color. When it gets back from the printer, I'll let everybody know, and you will not pay anything for the book. The only thing that you have to pay for is the shipping to get the book to you, unless you're working with a distributor, and then I'll ship them all to the distributor and let him distribute the books. But anybody who wants a copy of the book themselves, the only thing you pay for is just the shipping, nothing else. And so far, I've done more than 200 formulas, so there's going to be a lot in it. Reds, blondes, brunettes, on salt and pepper hair, super glazes, all sorts of things, plus an explanation for each of the categories. That's it, guys. I hope that you have a great holiday season, and that's it. We're done. See you later.